Hello everyone, welcome back to the AppSec Byte. In today's video, we are going to take a close look and deep dive into that vulnerability known as arbitrary file leak in the Nextcloud Android application. We will not only understand the code flow but also break down every bit of the code to gain a comprehensive understanding of this vulnerability. So let's get started and explore this code in detail. So we have split this video into four segments. First is monitor the components where we will monitor the application components like activities, services. Second is analyzing the code where we will analyze the code with the help of the ZXUID compiler, and after it find the bug and exploit where we will find the hack and exploit that vulnerability. So as per HackerOne report, the vulnerability exists in this module, upload content from other apps. So for finding the root cause of this vulnerability, we will monitor the application component with the help of the tool Medusa and figure out what's happening. So let's start the Medusa and monitor the application components. Let's see what's happening there on clicking on this upload content from other apps. So whenever we click on upload content from other apps, the start activity for result method is called from the activity file display activity, and so this method is sending some intent with the action chooser. Another action is get content. The category is openable and is setting the data type is anything. It can be anything with the wildcard. The title is like up, and also setting the extra level multiple value is set to true. And whenever we set any file to, okay, so on selecting file, okay, the intent comes like contain this, and okay, this is like a service file uploader. The file uploader service will be called and uploaded to that application and showing there with the help of the service. Okay, so as we know, whenever we click on that vulnerable component, the start activity for result method is executed with the some specified action and some category. So let's open the code with the ZXGID compiler and check what's happening there. Okay, so let's search the action instead of going line by line. So whenever we click on the vulnerable module, this method will be executed, and in this method there is a intent with the actions get content openable category and some boolean extra values. Let's it's set to true. It's starting the method start activity for result that intent. So whenever we click on the vulnerable component, this module will be executed with the intent, and after it method will be executed. Okay, so we are clear at this point. So what's hack in this code? So basically, before going into the hack, let's first understand that intent types. So there are two type of intents. We can say implicit and explicit. So in implicit intent, basically we don't have to set any specific component. So which activity should be called or not. So this action android intent dot action dot get content action android intent dot action dot get content is used in Android when we want to request the user to select data from the external sources such as files, images, or any type of content. The second is we are adding a category Android intent dot category dot openable. Basically, it is used to whenever we want to open the content from selected resources. Okay, so this code line is interesting because in this we are setting a get content action with the category openable and with the MIME type wildcard. So basically what it does, so whenever the application execute the start activity for result with the this intent, this will show all the files and we can select any file and also we can show that content. So let's understand the start activity and the set result workflow with the help of a data flow diagram, and how the heck possible if the implicit intent is used. There is an application that call the start activity for result with the implicit intent. Whenever the implicit intent is triggered, the device will search across the application and pick the pick that up, and Android device initiate the intent resolution process. On basis of the intent category actions intent data, it narrow down the list of apps to those that have declared their ability to handle similar intents by specifying intent filter in their manifest files. So just suppose two applications with the same intent data installed in the device. So the system may prompt the user to choose from the available apps. Okay, here in the diagram there are two apps installed with the same intent. One is legitimate and another is malicious apps. Okay, so if user choose legitimate application, then it send the result code and data to the main application. Okay, so if the user choose the malicious application, then the malicious application can send the intent data to the main application. So let's look into the diagram with respect to the Nextcloud Android application vulnerability. Okay, so this is the Nextcloud Android application. Whenever user click on the vulnerable module, it call the start activity for result with the specific intent. The device will search across the application and it found there are two applications installed in the device having same intent.
Okay, let's call it File Explorer.
And another is our malicious application. Okay, if user choose on File Explorer, it's open and user click on any file, select any file, and after selecting a file, the File Explorer send the file URI to the application, and it Nextcloud application pick the file and passes the Nextcloud application the file and upload to the Nextcloud. Okay, so if user choose malicious application, then the malicious application can send the intent URI. The malicious intent URI, it can be a internal file location. In this case, malicious application can send the malicious intent. It can be a internal file URL. Okay, so in this case, this application pick the internal file and upload to the application. The user choose the malicious application, then the malicious application can send the intent data via the set result to the Nextcloud Android application, and Nextcloud Android application pick the intent URI, and upload that file in their own application. If the folder is shareable, okay, then so any internal file to that application can be linked to that. So let's have a look at exploit part. So first we have to configure the action and category and the data, so that whenever the implicit intent triggered, so our application device will select our application also. And in the main activity, we are simply setting the internal file URL of that Nextcloud application. And via set result, we are sending the result code -1. It means the operation performed successfully. Their constant is activity result okay, and we are sending the intent. In the intent, we are sending a file schema URL of that Nextcloud Android application, and we are just finishing that activity. It means that activity is finished and it's moved back to the parent activity with the set result. So install this application. Okay, so let's open the Nextcloud application. Okay, so if the user choose the exploit next application, then the internal file uploaded there. Okay, so just suppose user created a folder ABCD. and this folder is shared with another user. So whenever user wants to upload any file from that vulnerable module, and by mistake he choose the exploit next application, so the internal file should be leaked to that user. If you want to replicate the same bug, for the same, I uploaded the vulnerable application to my GitHub repo APPSECBYETES. So you can go there and download the vulnerable application and try to replicate the bugs.